So the month of September, I've been talking about separating from the things that no longer serve you. Not necessarily that they're bad things, but if they're no longer serving you, when are you going to separate from them? And so I am having a conversation with you this evening because my comfort zone no longer serves me. And there may be somebody out there in the audience as well. Let me tell you all what I'm talking about. I have leaned into the space of plant-based nutrition, plant-based education, plant-based boss, the disruptor, because that was comfortable for me. It was super comfortable for me because I got the transformation for myself. I lost 30 pounds, being able to keep those 30 pounds off. I transitioned from, animal products, pescatarian, then vegan, junk food, vegan. Now I'm a whole food, plant-based person, and that's the life that I live. So I've been out here preaching the gospel of plant-based because I got a transformation for myself. And because I want to help other people live well, do life well, absent of pills, powders, procedures, and injections, absence of diagnosis and disease, I've been putting a lot of weight on plant-based nutrition, the plant-based lifestyle. But here's what I've come to on this sacred Sunday, on this separation Sunday. That was so comfortable for me. I have not really leaned into the space. I retired June 30th, 28 years of state service as a leader in some very high demanding, exceptionally stressful, potentially stressful positions. Was able to navigate my way in a healthy aspect, was able to lead teams to successful outcomes, was able to lead teams who began to take care of themselves while we were doing the work. I've not been showing up in that space with that information for you all. And so as a leadership strategist over the last several months since I've retired, I've keynote in regards to preventing burnout. I've done several leadership workshops based on frameworks that I've developed, and I'm very proud that I have my own signature IP, several frameworks, and so the quad shift is one of them, let it is one of them, let it break. So just thinking about me being in my comfortable place and not really sharing that with the world. And so I want to hear it or share with you first that I'm going to be making some pivots, and I didn't want my natural audience, my community to be surprised, like, what is she doing? This is what I want you all to see, that when your comfort is what's holding you back, what's comfortable for you may not be the best way to serve your overall purpose. I'm all about assignment and alignment. I had a conversation with a profound person in my life, and so I self-identify him as my mentor. And so we had a really good conversation, and it required me to do some thinking. And what I know is, one of my other coaches say is that success loves speed. And so when you're in proximity to success, meaning information that's valuable to you, trusted, credible information, success, when are you going to take action on it? And so the reality of it is I have been so comfortable as a plant-based boss. Baby, I'm on 90.1 like a regular guest, right? Plant-based boss. But here's the thing. Once I got my health together, now I have the confidence to show up in this way. Very, very comfortable with that. But beyond that, this is what I want you to understand. If you want your people, if you want your teams, if you want your families, if you want those around you to live well, then there are lifestyle things that's required. And so opposed to me just focusing on food and nutrition and working out, the reality of it is a lifestyle which also encompasses the food, the nutrition, the other things. There are so many factors or so many other things that fall on the lifestyle that I was missing out on. So my commitment to you is to shift, come out of my comfort zone. So I'm going to, maybe that'll encourage somebody else to step out of their comfort zone as well. Because it's comfortable being a plant-based boss, baby. I can pull up and hey, however, A greater lean for me is a whole lifestyle, not just about the plants, but the entire lifestyle, as well as how do we lead well? How do I, as a leader, support my team when I have competing priorities, when I have demands by boards? If you are a nonprofit organization, you don't just make that stuff up. When you have to go in and have a meeting with your team, it is because you have requirements that are due. So how do you effectively take care of the top, the middle, and the bottom? And so I've been able to do that over the last several months. I have had several workshops with organizations to work with their teams through a couple of frameworks that I have developed. And so what I want to say is, from plant-based boss to lifestyle and leadership strategist. Yeah, it's beyond plants, but plants were my comfortable place, right? Plants, my plant-based lifestyle really was my entry point. And so, but when I think about the bigger framework, the bigger narrative of what it entails to do life well, that's going to require a wellness piece, which is all things that encompasses your well-being as a human being in this life. And as we go forth and lead, as we lead in our homes, as we lead in our communities, as we lead in our careers. And so it's not either or, it's not eat the plants or lead well. It's both and. So I'm very excited about this next phase of my life, this next phase of showing up as your lifestyle and leadership strategist, because I've done the work. I got the transformation for myself from that aspect, and I was able to successfully retire and leave my organization in the department that I was in a very good place. And I want to share that with you. I want to share how I was able to take programs from only offering 2 things to develop your team to having a suite of services after you do an assessment and find out what the needs are. Then you're able to go forth and help more people with the variety, with what they need, and not just you dump it on them what you've always done. So I'm very excited. I'm super excited. I wanted to share this before just shifting my content. And so I'm super, super thankful for having an honest conversation. You all know that I speak quite a bit about ecosystems. When you have the right people in your life, they will challenge you, they will stretch you, and it's up to you to do something with what they've shared. So I'm going to end on this note. If you are following me on Instagram, my handle is going to remain the same. Same thing on Facebook as well as LinkedIn. However, my YouTube handle it's now, because I've already changed it, Success, Love, Speed. And so I've already changed my YouTube handle. And if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you're going to want to do that, because I'll be addressing 3 key pillars. I'll be addressing wellness, I'll be addressing leadership and mindset. So this way we can get at all the gamuts. And so my YouTube handle has changed to Doing Life Well with Regina. Thank you for listening, and I just had to make sure I communicate that to my audience, because it is comfortable being comfortable. But when you have a stretched conversation, what do you do with that information? And so as I close out here, I invite you to have some reflection time with where you are, and don't box yourself in. Don't box yourself in. Make sure you're around people who are going to challenge you beyond what you're comfortable with. So for me, the biggest thing for separating in September has not just been separating from food, separating from people, separating from behaviors. It is separating from limited thinking, limiting myself in this space of being the plant-based boss, when in actuality, I am your lifestyle and leadership strategist. Have a well evening or a well day, whatever time you're catching this video. Subscribe again to my YouTube channel. and that is Doing Life Well with Regina. So thank you, and thank you.